Hey everybody, blessings to you. Hope this video makes you well, sending you love and positive energy. I am Latisha. I'm a 42-year-old millennial mom of 5 children. I am a homemaking, home managing, homeschooling mom. I am an immigrant living in the US. I am an INFJ Empath, an intuitive, Lightworker, messenger of truth, love, and light. I'm a navigator and observer of this timeline and the world that we're in. And basically my platform is Latisha Learns Life, and I talk about politics, and I talk about world things that are happening around us in the world, things that are happening in the country that I'm in, America. I talk about my experiences and my feelings and navigating my observations, the things I learn. I share my intuitive insights, my thought downloads, and my spiritual downloads. I find that since for a while now, for the last 3 months, I feel like I've been teetering between two worlds. The physical world, where there's a lot of bad shit going on in the physical world. There's a lot of chaos and a lot of fear energy and a lot of gaslighting and a lot of negative stuff. It's like where I am in the United States, and probably and all over the world too, but I feel it strongly because from where I am in the United States, it feels like a revelation of truth, things coming to the surface, things being revealed, people's worst instincts coming out. A lot of need for shadow work and healing. And, the energy just feels like all the bad stuff is just coming to the surface and being relitigated. It feels like, we're trying to go back. There's energies that are trying to take us back to a past that was not free. Not free for very many people, not free for anybody, to be honest, but not free for very many people. They're trying to take us back to a past of not knowing stuff, not, being uneducated and going back to sleep and just continuing to be easily controlled and fearful and not trusting our own instincts, not trusting ourselves, not, just taking us back to our prisons, because a lot of us have found a way to free ourselves, and a lot of us have been freed from our prisons of, shame and guilt and, and trauma. And we basically faced a lot of our fears and realized that we could get through anything. And, we basically overcome a lot, and we basically, had to really challenge and take a deep look into all our limited beliefs and our mindsets and our previous mindsets and the things that we were taught and all that kind of stuff. And we're still doing that. I'm recording this video from a different angle to how I normally record it. I have my phone horizontal, which is weird because I'm trying to focus my eyes on the camera, because when I try to look at the screen, which I'm accustomed to, and when I look at myself, my eyes are in a weird position, whereas when I record when I do my recordings vertically, I'm more comfortable because I'm able to just look at myself and talk. But this is weird. This is different. I just wanted to try something a little different. I'm recording on Sunday. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm recording on Sunday, February 8th, I think it is. February 8th. If not February 8th, it's February 9th. I cannot remember at the moment. But I'm recording on Sunday, and I've been here continuing to do my diamond painting. This is one that I've been doing for months. I started in January, and even though it was January, I said, what the hell, let me still do this Christmas tree one, because I was supposed to start it in December, but I never finished what I was doing before in time to start the Christmas one in December. So I started in January. And the whole purpose of this video is I wanted to talk about some of the things that I just wanted to talk about a few things. I spent, while I was on my diamond painting, I was kind of more, my listening focus was more in the lines of the woo today. Of listening to the perspective of three different women talking about different things. And the first two, talking about religion and spirituality and how, the Bible isn't all truth, and the second video was kind of talking about the Christian, the religious version, or the religious version of God, how narcissistic that version of God is. And even though I don't really want to fully tell you the things I was listening to today, what I was listening to, what I wanted to share with you is, I wanted to share some things from my perspective. I wanted to share religion and talk about God and religion and my experience now in the terms of spirituality, my experience, and things from my perspective. So for me, I am not sure if I like this angle that I'm recording, but I just wanted to do something different. I don't like this angle. It's less comfortable than my regular angle. But for me, I at the moment consider myself to be an agnostic. And from what I believe, my understanding of being an agnostic is that I do believe in God. And I'm just going to use the term God because that is the main name that a lot of people from where I grew up and where I was born, that's the main Western name of spirit or source, God. That's the main name that people use. And so I'm just going to use God in that sense. But for me, I do believe in a higher source. I do believe in, and for me, the name isn't really that important. I could call it any name at any given time. I could change my mind. I could call it any name at any given time. I could accommodate my language and my speech depending on who I'm talking to. But for me, I do believe in a higher source, a higher power, a higher self, a connection. And for me, I believe that God is us. We are a part of God. And God is in us, right? And I believe that in this moment where, we are dealing with, like I said, revelations, the revelations of truth, right? The people are, and truths are being revealed. It's like it has no choice. It's coming to the surface. It's just, the truths are coming to the surface. And we are discovering truths that we never discovered before. We are thinking of things and we are discovering truths that we never discovered before. We are questioning our old beliefs. We are questioning our old mindsets, and we are looking at this world differently. And we are evolving and shifting and awakening and transitioning. And the reason that we are in such a power struggle right now, the reason that the world is in this fight and in this battle, and there's a side that is cheating to control, like by lying and deceiving and tricking people into handing over their freedom, gaslighting people into believing a truth that isn't a truth, and to believe lies so that they could be controlled. There's a side that is aiming to control everybody, aiming to control what they don't understand, aiming to control. I don't know what that is all about. I don't know why people, there's parts of us that believe that that is the way, that makes sense, that is sustainable. I don't know why. It's just a greedy kind of, I must have more than my fair share energy, a lack energy, I guess, like the belief that there's not enough, that everybody can have more than their fair share, like everybody can have enough and above and beyond, like blessings overflowing. This mindset of lack. Even with the billionaires, there's still this mindset of lack, because it's like they're afraid that if they stop doing everything they can to keep increasing and increasing, like taking and taking and taking and sucking every bit of available resource, all the riches, grabbing as much of the riches as they can. If they stop, they will lose everything. Is this fear? Is this fear and this lack mindset, like just feeling as though they couldn't get enough? I don't know. I don't understand it, and I don't know what that's about. But that's where we are. That's where we are, where people are trying to control others and take as much as they can and leave the scraps for everybody else. And again, like I said, I don't know how that's sustainable. I don't know how they think that's going to work. I don't know what they think about their mortality. Like, do they feel as though they could take these riches with them when they die? Like, I mean, what is it about? Why do you feel as though you just need to take as much as you can, and you got to control everybody so that you could rule the world and you could have all of it, right? As though, again, like I say, as though the world can only be managed by one person. Like one person is like this God where they can manage everything and they don't need anybody else. You know what I mean? It is a egoic mindset. It is a selfish mindset. It's a greedy mindset. And it is insanity. So as I was listening to these speakers, I was taking everything that everybody said just with an open mind, listening, and I find it fascinating to hear the mindsets of other people, and so I listen to strong spiritual women, and the confidence. I hear the confidence in what they're saying, and I always wonder, like, why are you so confident? Why are you so confident in what you are saying and what you believe? And then I realized that a lot of us are confident in what we believe, and we believe different things. We see different things. One of the things I found very fascinating by the first person that I listened to was how she painted a picture of the fact that we have different gods, like there are different gods in heaven, and these gods are creators. Each one we are their children. Because the reason I find that to be fascinating is because there's so many different religions and there's so many different gods, versions of God, when I hear people talk about it. And I listen to my mom talk about it, and I listen to my mom's relationship with her God, and she said to me that her God asked her to stop calling him God. Her God, she felt very strongly about it, her God gave her a different name, which was Yah. I think, I don't want to call them wrong, but Yah. And then Jesus was Yahshua and Yahweh, I think. I don't know. I don't want to call the names incorrectly. But my God never told me that. So what does that mean? That all the children in the world that does not call God Yah or Yahshua, or give him or speak those names to their God because they didn't hear that message, are all of them disconnected from the one true God? If there's only one true God, why is there so many different versions of God coming from the mouths and the minds of the children that are speaking and using this YouTube and using this connection that we have, speaking their thoughts and sharing the downloads spiritually and the mental downloads and what they felt like their God told them. Well, if there's only one true God, and what the hell is there, only a small group of people that are the children of God, and then everybody else is buzzluck? So that makes no sense to me. The version where there's only one true God makes no sense to me, because there are many various depictions of God through the minds and the mouths and the hearts of various people. And the thing is why we're in such a struggle now is because we are having to face the fact that we do not see things the same way, and the technology that we've been given, the opportunity in which we could be in our homes and share our thoughts and our what's in our heart, or as best as we could with the language that we're able to express it, share our thoughts and our ideas and our perspective. Like the lady that I was listening to this morning, she was in her bed, in her pajamas, and I got to see her bedroom. And and she was sharing her version, her story, her understanding of heaven and of God. And I am in a different room right now. I love the room that I'm in. I am here doing my diamond painting, and I am sharing my perspective with you. I'm not at a podium. I'm not in a church building. I am not in a building where people are getting together, listening to me at a pulpit or on a platform. I am in my special place doing a calming activity while sharing my perspective with you. Does that mean that what I have to say has less value because I'm not in a special room? I'm not in a designated room of importance? That I am not in Congress or at a church pulpit or on TV? Does that mean that there's any less value to the words that I'm sharing with you? I do not think so. I may be heard by less people, but I don't think there's less value in what I'm saying. I think that this technology is such a precious gift in which we are able to really start to hear people, and everyday people too, which is another reason why the powers that control the world are now realizing their mistake and are working overtime to control it. I do not know how they are going to do that, because I feel like the freedom has already been released to the point that there's no way you could kill it. The energy of awakening and freedom, you can't kill it really, because that energy is going to go somewhere. So like, for instance, if you try to, change the algorithm with TikTok or Instagram or, YouTube even, or you just try to, or like Twitter, you try to change that energy by changing the algorithm and creating a more deceptive algorithm. What you have done, all you've done is you've had the energy of light have to disperse off of that platform and move to a different space. So you kind of forcing it to spread even more, because now we branch out a little bit and we spread off. We leave our spaces. Like, I left my comfort space of Instagram, and I left Twitter like really long time ago. I left Twitter because I realized that, the energy that was being created in that space, and it wasn't good for me. And there was no point of me remaining there. What you're doing is every time you try to control a space, you force the energy of light to move in a different location and spread out more. So you force me, Mark Zuck, you and your dumb algorithm and your fascist alignment forced me to disperse, to move to different platforms like YouTube, use Twitter more, use TikTok more, use Substack more, and be a little bit more creative and spread my message of love and light and truth to more locations. And because of that, I've discovered more stars, and I call them stars. Stars meaning the light workers, the star seeds. Star seeds is not a word that I'm accustomed using, but the stars, the children of God, the children of in the light, which is all of us, but then there's some of us, all of us are children of God, but there are some of us that are choosing to be in the light, to choosing to be the stars. We have felt called to be in the light and to hold the light, just by being ourselves, really. Not, just by being ourselves and being authentic and true to ourselves and not allowing ourselves to be gaslighted. We are choosing to hold the light, So, while I was listening, to a lot of the things that were being said, and there's a lot to talk about, I'm not going to be able to talk about all the things, but while I was listening to what was being said, I thought back to past experiences, things that I've been through, and the things that has made me, all the little things that made me who I am at this point, and made me the warrior. I used to call myself a warrior, Now I changed it to messenger, the messenger of truth, love, and light. I used to say I'm a warrior of truth, love, and light, and that's before I started to just use the simple term light worker, but all of it is the same thing, all the little things that added up. I could remember that shift and that transition, and I remember the exact year of my spiritual awakening, and I remember how I used to think before my spiritual awakening and how the world started to look to me after my spiritual awakening. And honestly, I believe that the MAGA Emperor was a catalyst. The MAGA Emperor was a catalyst for my first spiritual awakening. And, I have been awake ever since. And even though I've had to evolve and shift and change the way how I do things and experiment and go from one location to another and try different things and figure out how to find my voice, I have been evolving ever since, and I have been transitioning, and I've, many times I have thought that I have exited the cocoon, but then I still feel as though I'm inside the cocoon, but I'm almost out. Every once in a while I say, oh, yes, I'm out now. I'm out of that cocoon. I'm finally the butterfly. But I don't think I've arrived as yet. I don't think I'm the butterfly as yet. And, throughout the course of 2024, I have been focused on helping to rescue democracy from exactly the position that is in now, American democracy. But then I started to learn, and I learned this afterwards. I learned this after the election. I started to learn that American democracy was never democracy. It was never actually a true democracy. It was just disguised as a democracy. But the system, the American system of electing political leaders is definitely not designed as a representation of the people. It's always been a lie. And it was never a democracy. But in the process of believing in that, learning about democracy because of everything, because of my spiritual awakening and being a catalyst, because before, like I said, I was not engaged in politics. I didn't, I learned not to be engaged in politics or to pay attention to these things. And now I understand who's the teachers of those lessons, the people that controlled, the people that are fighting to continue to control the people and keep us asleep and keep us unfocused and distracted and gaslighted. Those are the same people that taught generations to not care about politics, to not engage, to that politics is only for the politicians. You know, you gotta be a certain type of person to be a politician or into politics, you know. And obviously that those generations then pass on that to us, to my generation, taught us not, didn't teach us anything about politics or talk about it or anything, because they stayed out of it. And I think that that's why we are where we are now, because the people just left the control to certain types of people. You know, the corrupt and the greedy and the liars, and you know, certain type of people, right? They left the decision making and the control to them, and then it got to the point where the people that was in control, they got so freaking greedy. They started to see that people were trying to become a little bit more independent, become a little bit more free, and get healthier and do better, and care about the planet more. And they got greedy and selfish, and they wanted to stop it. So they decided that no, we are going to have to go back to the period of slavery and control and wars and injustice and corruption and all that kind of stuff. We have to go back to the era of monarchies and oligarchies and dictatorships, and you know, just that kind of energy, you know. But in the process of thinking that I was fighting for a democracy in this country, I realized the beauty and the significant and the wonderful, the beauty of a real, honest to goodness, functioning democracy that is an actual democracy, the vision of a democracy. You know, the vision of a democracy is a beautiful thing, but it only works if, first of all, the people that are participating in the democratic decisions are educated, they understand how their system works, they are in agreement with the system, and they make responsible decisions and not emotional ones, not ones based on silly little things, but like putting things in context and being a little bit more nuanced and being a little bit more understanding of the fact that your political leaders, the people that you choose as your representatives, are, you know, we're all human, experiencing, you know, the human trial and error of learning, and we gotta understand the humanity in people, but we gotta not put the wrong people in those positions of power, the people that are gonna use it for greedy purposes or self-serving purposes, or use it to weaponize it against the people. And I just feel like I'm coming to such a place of pursuit of knowledge and understanding in religion and politics. I want to learn every fucking thing. I don't know why I just said that. I want to learn everything. I want to learn science and astrology and philosophy and psychology and biology, and I just want to learn things. And I know that there's only a little bit, you know, there's not a lot of time to learn a lot. There's not a lot of time. We have a limited amount of time, and I just feel like spending our days learning how to be the best human. Oh, what a life! What a life! If we could just figure out how to be the most amazing human that we could possibly be. If we could figure out, not perfect, just meaning our best selves, like how to be at our best health. If we could understand how our brain works, how the parts of our body work, how, you know, how just learn about the mind, to learn about spirituality, and learn about, if we could just spend our days just learning things, you know. And I just feel like because we've created this system of all the, you know, work, like seriously, they steal so many hours of people's lives. We got a short little life. And I've always felt this way. Even before I became a spiritually awakened person, I remember thinking as a young girl, like throughout the course of my life, I took my lessons, my own personal experiences, and I thought this would work so much better this way. Like when I was at the beginning of my marriage, and I just had one little girl, or our first child, I was thinking, one day I would like to be somebody that adopt a family at the beginning stages of their life, and I would purchase their house, and I would make paying for bills and make just starting their life so much easier by adopting this family and helping them to get started. Imagine if like all of us that got to the other stage where our finances was finally at a good place and we were able to adopt a family and help them get started. You know, when I was younger, before I got married, I realized that I wish that I had a support system. And I thought, one of these days I'm going to create something for young girls just like me to have a support system. Like throughout the course of my life, I've took every experience in which I felt like I had a need and think about the fact that I would do different as an adult. Someday I'll be a boss, and when I'm a boss, I'm going to like give a mother a whole year off so that she could spend time with her baby and not have to go back to work, because I thought it was really shitty how women either had to like work all the way down to when they were about to deliver so they could get their 3 months to be with their child. They could get that 3 months after, or they could take it before, like when maternity leave, 3 months. What the F, right? So I just thought that I would just do things differently. I envisioned the world differently. And I struggled with anxiety like for many years, like my 20s and 30s, because I really did feel like an alien that didn't belong. I just thought that the way how humans do things was just really selfish and stupid and dumb, and I wish and we could do things so much more lovingly and supportively, and life would be such a better thing for everybody. So now I am 42 years old, and I'm 42 years old, and part of me, part of me feels like I'm okay. Here I am now, and I wish I was further along. I wish I had accomplished some of the things, like I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time to experiment with the life that I've been given. I'm losing my life. And I've been working within the means of what I've had. And now I feel frustrated, for lack of better words, because I don't dwell on it. But it upsets me that what I have managed to, how far I've managed to get, and what I do have, they have a-holes like working overtime to take it away, even the little bit that I have, which I feel as though I want more. I want a life that is different. I want a life that you don't have to worry so much about bills and the price of eggs, and I want a life that is happy and joyful, and where it is about learning and creating and becoming. And it upsets me that I am 42. I know that if my mother was listening to this video, my mom would say, "You're upset." You can imagine how I feel. I'm 60 something. Well, I'm upset for her too, and upset is not the correct word, because when I say upset, it's not like a dwelling on the energy of being upset. I feel like I'm running out of time, because life is a beautiful thing. It's precious, and the days go so fast, and I feel as though I am running out of time in terms of coming to the place of peace and enjoyment and just living. And I am so irritated of the thieves that have entered the space, the thieves that are stealing destinies. They're devouring destinies. And I think a good imagery of that is like Wish, the Disney animation Wish. Good imagery of that. you know. If you have Disney Plus, watch it. Wish, if you can watch that, that's a good depiction of what I mean when I say stealing destinies, you know. And I am working really, really hard to take my destiny back. Hold the light and take my destiny back. And I hope that, I thank you for watching this video. And remember to like and comment and subscribe if you're not subscribed to my account. Okay, so I love what I said in this video, but I gotta tell you, the energy might not have been where I would have liked it to be as I'm recording this video. And I try to experiment and I try to record at a different angle. I don't know why. I just felt like I wanted to be able to do this. So I tried recording at a different angle. I'm not enjoying it because I have to like steer in a direction that I'm not accustomed steering when I'm talking on, you know, when I'm recording. Everybody has their preference of how they record their video, and you know, it is not one of my favorites, but I just wanted to be able to do something like this. Show more background in my space. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please, peace and blessings. And like I said, comment, share, like, subscribe, and send some support my way. Thank you.